Welcome back to part 2 of the second session with Corben. We've called these the Corben Dialogues, and they're part of the Skills for Life training provided to you by the Institute of Practical Learning. In this part, we're going to be talking about setting agendas, the 5W2H questioning method, which stands for who, what, why, when, where, how, and how much. And we're going to go into setting agendas and agreeing content. You may think, why should they be talking about agendas at this point? But agendas control your life pretty much. As a school person and a student, you will have been working towards what's called a curriculum, which is a set of learning that someone maybe years ago decided would be good for you to learn. In the world of work, things are very different because work is dynamic, it changes all the time. The word agenda comes from the Latin a.o.b, which is a list of things that need to be driven forward in a particular order. Now, when you go into the world of work, there are no set agendas. Agendas tend to be created in a dynamic way, almost on a daily basis. So you will be going into a meeting, someone will have set the agenda, or the meeting will need to agree an agenda and then move forward in a structured way, discussing those subjects. If you want to be listened to and contribute constructively in a group meeting, then it's important that you understand at what point in the agenda the discussion is taking place. Because if you start raising subjects that are outside of that immediate subject, then people just won't listen to you. So if you can know beforehand what the agenda is going to be, then you can prepare. So it's a valuable practical skill, and it falls into the area of what we call applied functional intelligence. This course is about developing all 4 of your intelligences: your emotional intelligence, your social intelligence, your practical intelligence, or AFI, and also your academic intelligence. If your life is like a game of cards, you can find ways to deal yourself some new cards.
So we've covered Gestalt.
We've covered Gestalt.
Okay.
We could look at conversational power, or we could look at, I looked at the Stanford Business School course that you said.
Did you?
The MBA one.
Okay.
I looked at what they covered.
I'm interested to hear you talk about that.
They covered lots of things.
Okay. Let's just do headlines first of all, which is called level 1, and then we'll come to level 2 and level 3. So just tell me, as it were, the agenda of what we probably will be covering. So that's your kind of wish list at the beginning.
So
before we drill down to level 2 for Stanford and level 3 for particular courses or how much it costs.
I looked at the list of things that you said to always look at.
Which
is who, what, why, when, where, how, and how much.
Fabulous, yes.
And it kind of worked. There are a few other things which I looked at, like how long the course is and things like that.
Okay.
So I kind of just wanted to look at all of that and what it was within the course that interested you, because it is a business course, and I know you're interested in business, but there were things on there that I wouldn't say your talents are, whereas there are things on there where I'd say you really did have your strong
Well, let's
point.
come back to that.
Yeah.
So I just want to cover at the top end, level 1, as it were. Was there anything else on your wish list for today?
For today?
Yes. You may have added a few things. I gave you a few things to respond to me on, but you may have looked at it and thought about it and thought, and I'd like to do this, and I'd like to do that.
Yeah, I'd like to look at maybe building personal confidence and bullshit bingo.
Did you find anything?
Yeah, there were lots of things on bullshit bingo.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have to look hard for that one.
Okay. Well, we'll come back to that.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So let's just capture.
Let's try and do the Stanford Business School, personal confidence.
Stupidly, I haven't got a pen. Yes, there's one back.
pencil.
Oh, So we're going to do, so this is going to be S2, session 2. We've done Gestalt, okay?
Yeah. So may I make a recommendation?
Of course.
Like we just did Gestalt and then stopped and started again.
Like or as?
As we just did Gestalt and then
Okay.
stopped and started again. Let's do the same let's do a bullshit bingo video. 15 minutes of bullshit bingo. Stop.
In terms of our discussion?
Yeah.
Oh, I see, because of the way the things
Stop,
are taped.
save, next
Okay,
one.
all right.
So then we have the individual videos for each one.
I agree.
Yes.
But at this point in the conversation, I just want to agree our agenda.
Yes. Well, this is the agenda video. So
Okay, yeah. I like it. Okay. So let's agree our agenda, which is,
Yeah.
so we've got an item 1,
Yeah.
since that seems to be where your current interest is. Just, we could do them in any order.
yeah.
But because I want this all to be responsive to you,
Yeah.
you're picking up on bullshit bingo. So let's do bullshit
Yeah,
bingo.
let's do it.
That's one. Item 1 on the agenda. Item 2 was Stanford, may I suggest?
Yeah, sure. I personal confidence is pretty high up my list of things that I'd like to cover. Whether that we'll do it all today, won't we? So it doesn't matter which order we do. But
Well, I'll certainly make that number 3, not because it's not important, but because I have in mind a way of helping you with personal confidence, which involves an external resource.
okay.
So it won't be just us sitting in front of the camera.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to do
Okay,
something
so let's
for that.
do number
So
2, Stanford Business School.
personal confidence. Just so you know, the external resource is a video that I found on the web.
Yes.
Keep pointing that way, it means nothing to the camera.
Yeah.
But I've found what I think is quite a good video on the web.
Okay.
And it's about personal confidence. Well, it's about building your personal confidence for the purposes of an interview.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I really want to make sure that we do cover interview. So what we're doing now, agenda-wise, is we're building an agreed agenda of what's in the agenda, and we're also agreeing the sequence in which we will address those topics. Whether we do address them in that order, given the nature of this conversation, is a question.
Yeah.
Is a variable.
But
all
as long
right?
as we know what we've got to...
Yes, as long as we've got the whole scope. And that, again, is an aspiration because we might not get to it all. Or Louis might come in again,
Yeah.
as he did yesterday with his... he'd pulled a radiator off the wall and there was a leak everywhere. So everything stopped for that. Anything else to go on the agenda for this morning?
Let's leave it at that, and then if something comes up,
Okay.
add things on.
That's also very good input, because if you put too much on an agenda, you don't get through it.
Yes.
And that's a very common thing in business. And it's a ploy used by finance directors who people are always going to finance directors asking for money. That they want the guy who runs human resources wants money for this. The IT guy wants this. The IT guy wants that. So the soft option for the financial director who's controlling the agenda is to put everything on the agenda, and the stuff he doesn't really want to talk about, or she doesn't really want they put it low down on the agenda.
And it never gets there.
And it never gets
But
there.
it looks like they're going to address it.
But they always put a slot at the bottom for any other business. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the demon, any other business. And what's that? That's his go-to, or her go-to place that he may or may not cut into any other business. And with a typical, we've got a terrific agenda here, everybody. I think there's enough here to appeal to everyone. But I'd also like to trap any other business that comes up during our conversation.
Yeah.
All right? So everybody's happy with that. He's just patted them on the back and said, well, this is going to be wonderful.
Yeah.
They have the illusion or impression that their needs are going to be addressed. Right? And then they run out of time, which the FD knows they're going to run out of time. So at such point as he or she wants, they can say, well, regrettably, I don't think we're able to cover everything today, implying those people who are dissatisfied, there will be a time in the future. Okay? However, in any other business, I would like to raise something.
Yeah.
And he's gone there, and he looks like he's on the agenda, but what he's doing is actually talking about something completely different, and instead of
that he doesn't want to talk about.
what's on the agenda. All right? Agenda setting is a skill in itself. And we've just briefly covered agenda setting.
See, there's another one. Cool.
Well, what I'm doing is I'm spontaneously talking about things as they appear
Yes.
in our conversation.
That's good.
Okay. So agenda. Ooh, that's nice. I enjoyed doing that. I enjoyed it. Okay. Now, to come back then,
So-
we've got 4 items on our agenda, and that's the end of agenda. You want to go and
I want
do
to stop
something
it,
with it?
and then we can start it.
In session 2, part 3, we're going to talk about a better use of words and good and bad leadership styles and the coping behaviours that people adopt when they have little or no respect for the people that are running the meeting.